What does it take to outsmart the gods themselves? Meet Hermes, the ancient world's ultimate multitasker, part trickster, part inventor, and the messenger who could outrun even the fastest mortal. But here's the twist: Hermes was far more than just a delivery guy for the divine. He was a shapeshifter, a protector, and even a guide to the afterlife. From stealing Apollo's cattle as a newborn to inventing the first musical instrument, Hermes' stories are packed with wit, wonder, and a touch of mischief. In this video, we're diving into 25 myths that reveal the many sides of this fascinating god. Whether you're a mythology buff or just curious about the ancient world, you're in for a journey that's as entertaining as it is enlightening. Ready to unravel the myths behind the messenger god? Let's begin. Now, let's step into the very beginning of Hermes' legendary story. Born to Maia, one of the Pleiades, and Zeus, the king of the gods, Hermes wasted no time proving he was no ordinary infant. On the very day of his birth, he displayed a level of cunning that would define him for eternity. While most newborns were content with simply resting, Hermes had other plans. He snuck out of his cradle, found a herd of Apollo's sacred cattle, and cleverly led them away. But here's the twist: Hermes didn't just steal the cattle. He made sure to disguise his tracks by having the herd walk backward, ensuring no one could trace their steps. As if that weren't enough, he even sacrificed 2 of the cattle, using their entrails to craft the first ever lyre. When Apollo eventually discovered the theft, he was furious until Hermes charmed him with his musical invention, turning Apollo's anger into admiration. This myth not only highlights Hermes' mischievous brilliance, but also sets the stage for his role as a mediator between gods and mortals. It's a tale of wit, ingenuity, and the kind of audacity only a god could pull off. Building on his early acts of cleverness, Hermes' next move showcased not just his resourcefulness, but also his ability to turn conflict into connection. After crafting the lyre from the entrails of the cattle he had sacrificed, Hermes took his creativity a step further. He found a tortoise shell and, using his ingenuity, transformed it into the very first lyre. This instrument wasn't just a simple tool for music. It was a masterpiece, its sound captivating and otherworldly. When Apollo, still upset over the theft of his cattle, finally confronted Hermes, the young god played the lyre. The music was so enchanting that Apollo's anger melted away. In a gesture of reconciliation, Hermes offered the lyre as a gift to Apollo, who, in return, gave Hermes the Caduceus, a symbol of peace and diplomacy. This exchange didn't just resolve their conflict, it marked the beginning of a lasting bond between the 2 gods. Through this myth, we see Hermes' ability to bridge divides, using his wit and creativity to turn tension into harmony. It's a reminder that even in the world of gods, conflict can be resolved with ingenuity and grace. Turning from the realm of music and reconciliation, we now find Hermes stepping onto the battlefield of the Trojan War. While many gods took sides in this epic conflict, Hermes played a unique role, not as a warrior but as a mediator and protector. One of the most touching moments in the war involves Hermes guiding King Priam, the aged ruler of Troy, on a perilous journey to retrieve the body of his son, Hector. After Hector's death at the hands of Achilles, his body was desecrated and left unburied, a grave dishonor in Greek culture. Priam, desperate to give his son a proper burial, ventured into the enemy camp, a task fraught with danger. Here, Hermes appeared in disguise, offering Priam guidance and protection. He led the king safely through the Greek lines, shielding him from harm and ensuring he reached Achilles' tent undetected. This act of compassion highlights Hermes' dual nature. He was not just a messenger but also a guardian of those in need. Through his intervention, Priam was able to persuade Achilles to return Hector's body, a moment of rare humanity amidst the brutality of war. Hermes' role in this myth underscores his ability to navigate even the most hostile situations with diplomacy and care. proving once again that his influence extended far beyond simple message delivery. Now let's journey beyond the battlefield and into the shadowy realm of the afterlife, where Hermes takes on one of his most solemn duties, guiding souls to the underworld. As the Psychopomp, Hermes was tasked with leading the spirits of the deceased to their final resting place, a role that required both sensitivity and authority. One of the most famous examples of this duty comes from the myth of Orpheus and Eurydice. When Eurydice tragically died, it was Hermes who escorted her soul to the realm of Hades. Later, when Orpheus descended to retrieve her, it was Hermes who guided Eurydice back out, though the encounter ended in heartbreak. This myth not only highlights Hermes' role as a guide, but also his ability to navigate the delicate boundaries between life and death. Another example involves the goddess Persephone. When Zeus commanded her return from the underworld to her mother Demeter, it was Hermes who acted as the messenger and guide, ensuring her safe passage. Even among the gods, Hermes' role as Psychopomp was deeply respected. He was often called upon to mediate between the realms, bridging the gap between the living and the dead with grace and precision. This aspect of Hermes' character reveals a profound layer of his divinity. He wasn't just a messenger of the gods, but also a compassionate shepherd of souls, guiding them through one of life's most profound transitions. His presence in these myths reminds us that even in the face of death, there is a guiding hand to lead the way. Turning now to another captivating tale, we find Hermes stepping into a role that showcases his cunning and resourcefulness. This is the story of Hermes and the slaying of Argus, the hundred-eyed giant. The myth begins with Zeus, who had fallen in love with the beautiful nymph Io. To protect her from the jealousy of his wife Hera, Zeus transformed Io into a white heifer. However, Hera, ever watchful, was not fooled. She claimed the heifer as her own and appointed Argus, a giant with 100 eyes, to guard Io day and night. Argus was the perfect sentinel, as he could keep some eyes open while others slept, ensuring Io could never escape. Zeus, desperate to free Io, turned to Hermes, the master of trickery. Hermes devised a clever plan. Disguised as a shepherd, he approached Argus and began to play soothing music on his lyre. As the giant listened, Hermes began to recount tales, each one more enchanting than the last, until slowly but surely, Argus' eyes began to close one by one. Once all the eyes were shut, Hermes swiftly struck, slaying the giant and freeing Io. This act of cunning earned Hermes the gratitude of Zeus and further solidified his reputation as a god who could outwit even the most formidable opponents. The myth of Hermes and Argus not only highlights his cleverness but also his willingness to go to great lengths to fulfill his tasks, even if it meant resorting to deception and force. It's a story that reminds us of Hermes' versatility and his ability to navigate even the trickiest of situations with ease. Moving forward, we encounter a story that intertwines divine favor with mortal folly, as we explore the myth of Hermes and the golden touch of King Midas. King Midas, known for his insatiable greed, was granted a wish by the god Dionysus, who owed him a favor for his hospitality. Midas, blinded by his desire for wealth, wished that everything he touched would turn to gold. Dionysus reluctantly granted the wish, and Hermes, ever the divine messenger, was sent to deliver this extraordinary power to the king. At first, Midas was ecstatic, transforming everyday objects into shimmering gold with a single touch. However, his joy quickly turned to despair when he realized that even food and water turned to gold, leaving him unable to eat or drink. Worst of all, when he embraced his beloved daughter, she too was turned into a golden statue. Desperate and heartbroken, Midas pleaded with Dionysus to take back the cursed gift. Dionysus, moved by the king's remorse, instructed Hermes to guide Midas to the river Pactolus, where he could wash away the golden touch. Hermes, ever dutiful, led the king to the river, and as Midas immersed his hands in the waters, the power of the golden touch was finally revoked, returning life and normalcy to everything he had transformed. This myth underscores Hermes' role as the executor of divine will, ensuring that the gods' decisions, whether blessings or curses, were carried out with precision. It also serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked greed and the unintended consequences of our desires. Through Hermes' involvement, we see not only his efficiency as a messenger, but also his ability to bring about both blessings and remedies, shaping the destinies of mortals and gods alike. Now, let's turn our attention to another thrilling chapter in Hermes' adventures, where his quick wit and bravery shine once again. This time, we find him stepping into the role of a rescuer as he comes to the aid of none other than Ares, the god of war. The tale begins with the allow-eyed giants Otus and Ephialtes, two formidable brothers known for their immense strength and ambition. These giants had managed to capture Ares and imprison him in a bronze jar where he remained trapped for 13 long months. The gods, despite their power, were unable to free him, and Ares' absence began to disrupt the balance of the world, as war and conflict stagnated without his influence. Enter Hermes, the ever-resourceful messenger god. Recognizing the urgency of the situation, Hermes devised a cunning plan to infiltrate the giant's stronghold. Using his unmatched speed and stealth, he slipped past their defenses, located the bronze jar, and skillfully released Ares from his imprisonment. This daring rescue not only restored Ares to his rightful place among the gods, but also highlighted Hermes' unique ability to navigate even the most perilous situations with grace and ingenuity. His role as a savior among the gods further cements his reputation as a multifaceted deity, equally adept at delivering messages, guiding souls, and, as this myth shows, rescuing his fellow gods in their darkest moments. Through this story, we're reminded of Hermes' indispensable presence in the pantheon, always ready to step in when the gods and the world need him most. Shifting our focus, we now delve into a lesser-known yet equally fascinating tale that showcases Hermes' diplomatic prowess. This time, our story unfolds during the epic journey of Odysseus, the hero of Homer's Odyssey, as he encounters the sacred cattle of Helios, the sun god. These cattle, revered and untouchable, grazed on the island of Thrinacia, a place Odysseus and his crew were warned to avoid. However, driven by hunger and desperation, some of his men defied this warning and slaughtered the cattle, sparking the wrath of Helios. The sun god, enraged, demanded retribution from Zeus, threatening to plunge the world into eternal darkness if justice was not served. Enter Hermes, the master negotiator and mediator of the gods. Zeus, seeking to balance justice with mercy, sent Hermes to intervene. Hermes' task was delicate. He needed to ensure that Odysseus and his crew faced the consequences of their actions without letting chaos overtake the world. Using his trademark tact and wisdom, Hermes delivered Zeus' decree, guiding the unfolding events with a measured hand. His intervention not only upheld divine justice, but also demonstrated his ability to navigate even the most volatile situations with grace. This myth highlights Hermes' role as a peacekeeper among the gods, always ready to step in and restore balance when tensions rise. It's a testament to his versatility, proving that he's not just a messenger or a trickster, but also a skilled diplomat who ensures harmony in the divine and mortal realms alike. Through this story, we see yet another dimension of Hermes' indispensable role in the pantheon, where his actions often prevent disaster and maintain order in the face of chaos. Moving into another intriguing aspect of Hermes' legacy, we now explore his unexpected role as the patron of thieves. This association might seem surprising at first, but when you consider Hermes' knack for cunning and cleverness, it starts to make perfect sense. Even as an infant, Hermes displayed his quick-witted nature by stealing Apollo's cattle, a bold act that set the tone for his reputation as a trickster. His ability to outsmart others, often with a touch of humor, made him a natural figure for thieves to admire and seek favor from. In ancient times, those who relied on stealth and deception in their endeavors would pray to Hermes for success, believing his divine influence could protect them from detection or failure. One famous story tells of a thief who, after stealing a prized possession, offered a portion of his loot to Hermes as a token of gratitude. The god, amused by the thief's audacity, reportedly turned a blind eye to the crime, further cementing his connection to those who walk the line between cunning and mischief. This myth doesn't just highlight Hermes' association with theft, it also underscores the complex nature of his character. He wasn't just a god of chaos or trickery, he was a figure who rewarded cleverness and resourcefulness, even if it meant bending the rules. Through this lens, Hermes becomes a symbol of adaptability and ingenuity, qualities that both mortals and gods could admire. His role as the patron of thieves reminds us that mythology often blurs the lines between right and wrong, celebrating ingenuity even when it comes with a hint of mischief. Now, let's turn our attention to another remarkable moment in Hermes' divine career, his daring rescue of the infant Dionysus. This myth not only showcases Hermes' protective instincts, but also underscores his loyalty to Zeus and his family. When Dionysus was born to Zeus and the mortal Semele, Hera, ever jealous of Zeus' affairs, sought to destroy the child. To protect the infant, Zeus called upon Hermes, the swift and resourceful messenger, to whisk Dionysus away to safety. Without hesitation, Hermes took the newborn in his arms and carried him across great distances, ensuring he was hidden from Hera's wrath. Ultimately, Hermes delivered Dionysus to the care of the nymphs of Nysa, where he could grow up protected and nurtured. This act of heroism highlights Hermes' role as a guardian and savior, stepping in when the stakes were highest. It's a reminder that while Hermes is often celebrated for his wit and cunning, he also possesses a deep sense of duty and compassion, especially when it comes to protecting the vulnerable. Through this myth, we see yet another dimension of Hermes, a god who is not only clever but also fiercely loyal and protective, embodying the values of courage and responsibility in the face of danger. Now, let's explore a lighter side of Hermes' divine adventures, his playful rivalry with Apollo. Despite their differences, Hermes and Apollo shared a bond built on mutual respect and a touch of healthy competition. One of the most famous contests between the two gods began shortly after Hermes' birth. As a newborn, Hermes had already stolen Apollo's cattle, but instead of holding a grudge, Apollo challenged his brother to prove his skills. The first contest involved music. Hermes, ever the inventor, had crafted the first lyre from a tortoise shell. When Apollo heard the enchanting melodies Hermes played, he was so captivated that he offered to trade his prized cattle for the instrument. This exchange marked the beginning of a series of friendly challenges between the two. Apollo, the god of music and prophecy, often tested Hermes' wit and agility, while Hermes, with his quick thinking and resourcefulness, always found ways to surprise his older brother. One such contest involved a race where Hermes used his famed winged sandals to outpace Apollo's swift chariot. Despite the playful rivalry, their contests always ended in laughter and admiration. Apollo came to appreciate Hermes' ingenuity, and Hermes respected Apollo's mastery of the arts. Through these interactions, we see a dynamic that goes beyond simple competition. It's a celebration of their unique talents and a testament to the camaraderie among the gods. This myth reminds us that even in rivalry, there's room for friendship and mutual respect, showcasing yet another fascinating layer of Hermes' multifaceted personality. Shifting our focus to another pivotal moment in Hermes' divine legacy, we come to his role in bringing fire to humanity. This myth highlights Hermes not just as a messenger or trickster, but as a bringer of progress and civilization. According to the legend, Hermes was the one who first introduced fire to mortals, a gift that forever changed the course of human history. Fire, with its warmth and light, became a cornerstone of human survival and innovation, enabling people to cook food, stay warm, and eventually forge tools. But this gift was more than just practical. It symbolized the dawn of knowledge and human advancement. Hermes' act of delivering fire to humanity mirrors the story of Prometheus, though Hermes' version is often overshadowed. Yet, his role in this myth underscores his connection to the transformative power of invention and enlightenment. Fire was not just a physical tool, it represented the spark of creativity and the ability to shape one's destiny. Through this act, Hermes solidified his place as a god who bridges the gap between the divine and the mortal, bringing not just messages but also the means for progress. This myth also ties into Hermes' broader role as a bringer of civilization, a deity who aids humanity in its quest for growth and understanding. It's another example of how Hermes' influence extends far beyond his role as a messenger, shaping the very foundations of human culture and development. As we delve deeper into his myths, it's clear that Hermes' impact on the world is as multifaceted as the stories themselves, each revealing a new layer of his divine purpose. Turning now to another chapter in Hermes' divine duties, we encounter his involvement in one of the most dramatic episodes in Greek mythology, the binding of Prometheus. This myth reveals Hermes not just as a messenger but as an enforcer of divine will, a role that underscores his loyalty to Zeus. After Prometheus defied Zeus by stealing fire from the gods and giving it to humanity, Zeus was furious and determined to punish him severely. It was Hermes who was tasked with delivering Zeus's commands to bind Prometheus to a rock in the Caucasus Mountains. As a messenger, Hermes carried out his duty with precision, ensuring that the punishment was carried out as ordered. But this wasn't just a simple act of obedience. Hermes' role in this myth highlights his position as a mediator between the gods, even when it involved enforcing harsh consequences. While Prometheus's act of defiance was seen as noble by some, Hermes' compliance with Zeus's orders emphasizes the rigid hierarchy of the divine world and the importance of obedience among the gods. Interestingly, this myth also ties back to Hermes' earlier role in bringing fire to humanity. While Hermes' gift of fire symbolized progress and enlightenment, Prometheus's theft of it led to suffering and punishment. This duality adds depth to Hermes' character, showing him as both a bringer of gifts and an enforcer of divine justice. Through this story, we see yet another facet of Hermes' multifaceted role in mythology, where he not only delivers messages but also ensures that the will of the gods is carried out, no matter how severe the consequences. As we continue to explore his myths, it becomes clear that Hermes' actions often walk the fine line between benevolence and duty, shaping his legacy as one of the most complex figures in ancient mythology. Shifting our focus to one of the most poignant tales in Greek mythology, we find Hermes stepping into the role of a savior. This time, it's the story of Persephone's rescue from the Underworld, a myth that highlights Hermes' unique ability to navigate the boundaries between the mortal and divine realms. When Persephone, the daughter of Demeter, is taken to the Underworld by Hades, her mother's grief plunges the world into an eternal winter, threatening both gods and mortals alike. Zeus, seeing the chaos, dispatches Hermes to negotiate Persephone's return. As the messenger of the gods, Hermes descends into the underworld, where he skillfully mediates between Hades and the demands of Zeus. His role here is more than just delivering a message. He acts as a guide, leading Persephone back to the world above. However, the rescue comes with a twist. Due to Persephone's consumption of pomegranate seeds in the underworld, she is bound to return there for part of each year, explaining the cycle of the seasons. Hermes' involvement in this myth underscores his versatility, not only as a messenger but also as a mediator who bridges the gap between conflicting forces. This story also reveals his compassion and willingness to ensure balance, even when the situation is fraught with complexity. Through his actions, Hermes helps restore harmony to the world, once again proving his indispensable role in the delicate interplay of divine powers. As we explore more of his myths, Hermes continues to surprise us, embodying the qualities of a guardian, guide, and peacemaker. Now, let's turn our attention to another fascinating tale that showcases Hermes' willingness to lend a hand where it's needed most, this time in the miraculous birth of Orion. According to the myth, Orion's origins are deeply tied to divine intervention, and Hermes plays a crucial role in bringing this legendary hunter into the world. The story begins with three gods, Zeus, Poseidon, and Hermes, traveling together in disguise. During their journey, they encounter a humble farmer named Hermes, who offers them hospitality despite his poverty. Touched by his generosity, the gods ask Hermes what he desires most. He confesses his longing for a son, but laments that his age and circumstances make it impossible. Moved by his plight, the gods devise a plan to grant his wish. Hermes, Zeus, and Poseidon take the hide of an ox and urinate on it, burying it in the earth. From this unusual act, Orion emerges fully grown, a testament to the gods' power and compassion. Hermes' involvement in this myth highlights his role as a helper of mortals, someone who steps in to assist those in need, even in the most unexpected ways. This story not only underscores Hermes' versatility, but also reveals his deep connection to humanity, as he helps bring joy and fulfillment to a humble mortal's life. Through this act, Hermes once again proves that his influence extends far beyond the realms of the divine, touching the lives of ordinary people in extraordinary ways. Moving forward, we now explore a myth that intertwines Hermes with one of the most enigmatic figures in Greek mythology, Pandora. According to the tale, Pandora was the first woman created by the gods, and her story begins as a response to Prometheus' theft of fire. Zeus, angered by Prometheus' defiance, sought to punish humanity with a gift that would bring both wonder and suffering. Hermes played a pivotal role in this plan, tasked with delivering Pandora to Epimetheus, Prometheus' brother. But Hermes' involvement didn't stop there. He also bestowed upon Pandora two defining traits: deceit and curiosity. These qualities would prove instrumental in the events that followed. When Pandora was given a mysterious jar often referred to as a box, she was warned never to open it. However, her insatiable curiosity, a gift from Hermes himself, led her to lift the lid, unleashing all the evils of the world. Only hope remained inside, a small but enduring comfort for humanity. Hermes' role in this myth highlights his complex nature as a messenger of the gods, capable of delivering not just words but also the very essence of human experience. Through Pandora's story, we see how Hermes' gifts of deceit and curiosity shape the course of mythology, leaving a lasting impact on both gods and mortals alike. This tale serves as a reminder of Hermes' ability to influence the world in ways that are both profound and unpredictable. Now let's turn our attention to a myth that showcases Hermes in a role that blends diplomacy with divine neutrality, the judgment of Paris. This story begins with a wedding that wasn't quite complete, the marriage of Peleus and Thetis, to which Eris, the goddess of discord, was not invited. In her anger, she tossed a golden apple into the gathering, inscribed with the words, "For the fairest." This simple act sparked a rivalry among three of the most powerful goddesses, Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite, as each claimed the apple for herself. To resolve the dispute, Zeus turned to none other than Hermes, tasking him with a delicate mission. Hermes was to guide Paris, a mortal prince of Troy, to the judgment site on Mount Ida. There, Paris would decide which of the three goddesses was the fairest. Hermes' role in this myth is fascinating because he doesn't take sides or influence the outcome. Instead, he acts as a neutral messenger, ensuring that Paris understands the gravity of his decision. Each goddess offers Paris a bribe. Hera promises power, Athena offers wisdom, and Aphrodite pledges the love of the most beautiful woman in the world. In the end, Paris chooses Aphrodite, setting in motion a chain of events that would lead to the Trojan War. Through this myth, we see Hermes as a figure of balance and diplomacy, skillfully navigating the tensions between gods and mortals without imposing his own will. His ability to remain impartial in such a contentious situation underscores his unique position as a mediator among the gods, further solidifying his legacy as a master of both communication and neutrality. Moving forward, let's explore another fascinating aspect of Hermes' loyalty and resourcefulness: his role in helping Zeus protect his lovers from Hera's wrath. As you might know, Zeus was notorious for his many romantic escapades, often leaving Hera furious and determined to seek revenge. This is where Hermes stepped in as a trusted ally. One of the most famous stories involves Io, a mortal woman whom Zeus fell in love with. When Hera grew suspicious and began to investigate, Zeus transformed Io into a cow to disguise her. However, Hera wasn't fooled and sent the 100-eyed giant Argus to keep watch over Io. To save her, Zeus called upon Hermes, who used his cunning to lull Argus to sleep with music and then slay him, freeing Io from her torment. Another tale involves the nymph Callisto, who was transformed into a bear by Zeus to protect her from Hera's jealousy. Again, Hermes played a crucial role, ensuring her safety and eventually placing her among the stars as the constellation Ursa Major. These myths highlight Hermes' unwavering loyalty to Zeus, as he repeatedly risked his own safety to carry out these daring rescues. They also showcase his ingenuity and quick thinking, traits that made him an indispensable ally to the king of the gods. Through these stories, we see Hermes not just as a messenger but as a protector and problem solver, always ready to step in and assist Zeus no matter the challenge. Now, let's shift our focus to a lesser-known but equally intriguing aspect of Hermes' legacy: his connection to the invention of the alphabet. While many associate Hermes primarily with his role as a messenger, some myths suggest he played a pivotal role in shaping human communication itself. According to these stories, Hermes introduced the first alphabet, a system of symbols that revolutionized how people recorded and shared knowledge. Before this invention, oral traditions dominated, and information could easily be lost or altered over time. With the alphabet, humanity gained a powerful tool for preserving history, literature, and laws. This invention didn't just change communication, it transformed culture, enabling the spread of ideas across generations and regions. Hermes' contribution here aligns perfectly with his role as a bridge between gods and mortals, as he gifted humanity a means to transcend the limitations of speech. It's fascinating to think how this single innovation laid the foundation for everything from ancient scrolls to modern digital communication. While the exact origins of the alphabet remain debated, the idea of Hermes as its inventor underscores his enduring influence on civilization. This myth reminds us that Hermes wasn't just a messenger of the gods, he was a bringer of progress, forever shaping the way we understand and interact with the world. Now, turning our attention to another legendary tale, we explore Hermes' pivotal role in the story of Perseus and his quest to slay Medusa. When Perseus was tasked with the seemingly impossible mission of retrieving Medusa's head, Hermes stepped in as a crucial ally. Among the many gifts he provided, Hermes bestowed upon Perseus his iconic winged sandals, which granted the hero the ability to fly with incredible speed and agility. This gift was essential for Perseus to navigate the challenges of his journey, allowing him to swiftly travel to the distant lair of the Gorgons. Alongside the sandals, Hermes also guided Perseus to other divine tools, including Athena's polished shield, which he used to avoid Medusa's petrifying gaze. Hermes' involvement in this myth highlights his dual role as both a protector and a facilitator of heroic deeds. By aiding Perseus, he not only ensured the hero's success, but also reinforced his own reputation as a god who empowers mortals to achieve the extraordinary. This story serves as a testament to Hermes' ingenuity and his unwavering support for those who seek to overcome seemingly insurmountable odds. With his guidance, Perseus' triumph over Medusa became a legendary feat, forever cementing both their places in the annals of mythology. Now let's delve into another fascinating chapter of Hermes' multifaceted legacy, the myth of his involvement in the resurrection of Asclepius. Asclepius, the god of healing and medicine, was known for his extraordinary ability to cure the sick and even bring the dead back to life. However, this power did not sit well with Zeus, who feared that Asclepius might upset the natural order of life and death. In a fit of anger, Zeus struck Asclepius down with a thunderbolt. Enter Hermes, the ever-resourceful messenger god. Recognizing the importance of Asclepius' healing gifts, Hermes intervened, using his divine influence to restore Asclepius to life. This act not only showcased Hermes' compassion but also solidified his connection to healing and medicine. Through this myth, Hermes emerges as a figure who values life and the restoration of balance, reinforcing his role as a mediator between gods and mortals. His actions here remind us that his influence extends far beyond his duties as a messenger, touching even the realms of health and well-being. This story also underscores the idea that Hermes' interventions often bring about positive change, even in the face of divine wrath. His role in resurrecting Asclepius highlights his ability to navigate complex situations with wisdom and grace, ensuring that vital forces like healing continue to flourish in the world. Now, let's turn our attention to another captivating tale featuring Hermes, the rescue of Io. This myth begins with Io, a priestess of Hera who caught the eye of Zeus. To protect her from Hera's jealousy, Zeus transformed Io into a white heifer. However, Hera, ever suspicious, demanded the heifer as a gift and placed her under the watch of the hundred-eyed giant Argus. This is where Hermes steps in. Tasked by Zeus to rescue Io, Hermes approached Argus with his characteristic cunning. Disguised as a shepherd, Hermes played soothing music on his pipes and told stories, lulling Argus to sleep. One by one, Argus' eyes closed and Hermes swiftly struck, freeing Io from her imprisonment. This act not only highlights Hermes' resourcefulness but also underscores his role as a protector of Zeus' lovers. Through this myth, we see Hermes once again navigating the delicate balance between divine loyalties, using his wit and charm to achieve the impossible. His intervention in Io's plight demonstrates his ability to act decisively in moments of crisis, ensuring the safety of those caught in the crossfire of divine intrigue. This story further cements Hermes' reputation as a god who values justice and protection, even when it means challenging the wrath of other deities. As we delve into another intriguing chapter of Hermes' tales, we encounter the myth of Echo, a story that intertwines with the tragic figure of Narcissus. In this myth, Hermes plays a subtle yet significant role in shaping Echo's destiny. Echo, a nymph known for her enchanting voice, was cursed by Hera to only repeat the words of others after she distracted the goddess while Zeus engaged in his escapades. Hera's punishment left Echo unable to express her own thoughts, a cruel twist of fate that would lead her to pine for Narcissus, a young man known for his extraordinary beauty. Though Hermes does not appear directly in Echo's story, his influence is felt through his role as a messenger and guide between the divine and mortal realms. It is Hermes' presence in the broader mythological world that sets the stage for Echo's interactions with the gods and her eventual heartbreak. As a god who often bridges the gap between worlds, Hermes' actions and decisions elsewhere in mythology ripple into Echo's tale, highlighting the interconnectedness of these ancient stories. Echo's fate, marked by unrequited love and her fading voice, serves as a poignant reminder of the god's power to shape mortal lives. While Hermes may not have directly intervened in her story, his role as a mediator of divine will underscore his importance in the tapestry of Greek mythology. This myth invites us to reflect on the subtle ways in which the gods influence the lives of mortals, often in ways that are felt rather than seen. Through Echo's story, we see yet another layer of Hermes' legacy, one that speaks to the quiet yet profound impact of his presence in the broader mythological narrative. Now, shifting our focus to a moment of divine conflict, we find Hermes stepping into a pivotal role during the battle against Typhus, one of the most fearsome monsters in Greek mythology. Typhus, a colossal being born from Gaia, the earth, was a creature of chaos and destruction, wielding immense power that even the gods feared. His aim was to overthrow Zeus and the Olympian order, plunging the world into turmoil. In this epic struggle, Hermes once again proved his loyalty and resourcefulness, acting as both a messenger and a crucial ally to his father Zeus. When Typhus managed to temporarily overpower Zeus, stealing his thunderbolts and crippling his strength, Hermes was tasked with recovering these weapons of divine power. Using his characteristic cunning and speed, Hermes successfully retrieved the thunderbolts, allowing Zeus to regain his strength and ultimately defeat Typhus. This myth not only highlights Hermes' bravery and cleverness, but also underscores his unwavering support for Zeus and the stability of the cosmos. Through his actions, Hermes played a key part in preserving the order of the gods, ensuring that chaos did not reign supreme. This tale reminds us of the intricate balance between order and chaos in Greek mythology and the crucial role Hermes played in maintaining it. As we move forward, we'll explore yet another chapter of Hermes' legacy, where his actions continue to shape the world of gods and mortals alike. Turning our attention to the celebrations dedicated to Hermes, we uncover the vibrant and meaningful traditions of the festival of Hermes. This ancient event, held in honor of the messenger god, was a significant part of Greek culture, reflecting the high regard in which Hermes was held. The Hermes was celebrated primarily by young athletes, as Hermes was also associated with physical prowess and agility. The festival featured a range of athletic competitions, including foot races and wrestling matches, designed to showcase the strength and skill of the participants. These contests were not just about winning, but also about paying homage to Hermes' own speed and dexterity. Beyond the athletic events, the Hermes included rituals and offerings to honor the god. Participants would present gifts of flowers, food, and libations, seeking his favor and blessings. The festival also emphasized the educational aspects of Hermes' role, as he was considered a patron of learning and eloquence. Young boys would engage in literary contests, reciting poetry and delivering speeches, further connecting the festival to the intellectual virtues Hermes embodied. The Hermes was more than just a celebration. It was a way for the Greek people to acknowledge Hermes' multifaceted influence on their lives, from physical strength to mental sharpness. Through this festival, the ancient Greeks reaffirmed their connection to Hermes, ensuring that his legacy continued to inspire and guide them in both their daily lives and their cultural practices. As we explore the next chapter of Hermes' enduring influence, we'll see how his myths and symbols have transcended time, shaping not only ancient Greece but also the modern world. Now, let's shift our focus to how Hermes' legacy has woven itself into the fabric of modern culture. The influence of the messenger god extends far beyond ancient Greece, leaving a lasting mark on literature, art, and media. In literature, Hermes often appears as a symbol of wit, speed, and communication. His archetype can be seen in characters who serve as messengers or tricksters, embodying his clever and resourceful nature. For example, in modern fantasy novels and comic books, characters inspired by Hermes often take on roles that require quick thinking and agility, reflecting his timeless appeal. In the world of art, Hermes has been a favorite subject for centuries. From classical sculptures to Renaissance paintings, artists have captured his iconic image with winged sandals and the Caduceus, symbolizing his roles as a guide and mediator. Even today, contemporary artists reinterpret his figure, blending ancient mythology with modern styles to keep his story alive in the public imagination. Hermes' influence is also evident in media, where his attributes have inspired characters in films, television shows, and video games. His speed and cunning are often mirrored in protagonists who navigate complex challenges with ingenuity and grace. Additionally, the Caduceus, symbolizing commerce and negotiation, is frequently used in logos and branding, subtly tying modern enterprises to Hermes' legacy. Beyond these creative fields, Hermes' enduring appeal lies in his versatility. As a god of boundaries, communication, and transformation, he resonates with themes that remain relevant in our ever-changing world. Whether through the arts, literature, or media, Hermes continues to captivate audiences, proving that his myths are not just relics of the past but living stories that inspire and connect us across generations. As we wrap up our exploration of Hermes' enduring influence, we're reminded that his legacy is not confined to history books. It thrives in the stories we tell and the symbols we cherish today. Now, let's take a closer look at the symbols that define Hermes and what they reveal about his many roles. One of the most iconic symbols associated with Hermes is the Caduceus, a staff entwined with two serpents and often topped with wings. This powerful emblem represents his role as a messenger and mediator, symbolizing negotiation, commerce, and the balance of opposing forces. The Caduceus is not just a tool of communication, but also a sign of his ability to bring harmony and resolve conflicts, making it a fitting symbol for a god who bridges the gap between worlds. Next, we have the winged sandals or talaria, which are perhaps the most recognizable part of Hermes' attire. These sandals, gifted with the ability to grant incredible speed, embody his role as the swift messenger of the gods. They allow him to travel effortlessly between the realms of mortals and immortals, reinforcing his identity as a guide and a figure who moves freely across boundaries. Finally, there's the Perseus, the wide-brimmed hat often depicted with wings. This hat not only protects Hermes during his travels, but also symbolizes his role as a protector of travelers and a guardian of safe passage. Together, these symbols, the Caduceus, the winged sandals, and the Perseus, paint a vivid picture of Hermes' multifaceted nature. They highlight his speed, cunning, and ability to navigate complex situations, cementing his place as one of the most versatile and enduring figures in mythology. As we explore these symbols further, we gain a deeper appreciation for how they encapsulate the essence of Hermes and the timeless roles he embodies. Now, let's turn our attention to Hermes' dynamic relationships with the other gods of Olympus, which further illuminate his role as a mediator and messenger. Central to these relationships is his bond with Zeus, his father and the king of the gods. Hermes' loyalty and quick thinking made him one of Zeus' most trusted allies, often tasked with delivering crucial messages or intervening in delicate situations. Whether aiding in the rescue of Zeus' lovers or executing his commands, Hermes' role as a faithful servant and problem solver for the king of the gods was unparalleled. Next, we have his complex yet fascinating relationship with Apollo. Though their initial interactions were marked by Hermes' mischievous theft of Apollo's cattle, the two eventually formed a bond of mutual respect. Apollo's admiration for Hermes' ingenuity, particularly after receiving the gift of the lyre, transformed their rivalry into a partnership that blended creativity and diplomacy. Hermes also shared a unique connection with Athena, the goddess of wisdom. While Athena embodied strategic intellect, Hermes complemented her by using his wit and speed to execute plans swiftly. Together, they often worked in tandem to assist heroes and mortals, showcasing their shared commitment to guidance and protection. Beyond these, Hermes' interactions with other deities, such as Hades in the Underworld or Dionysus during his infancy, further underscore his versatility. His ability to navigate the diverse personalities and domains of the gods highlights his unparalleled skill as a mediator. Through these relationships, Hermes emerges as a figure who not only bridges the gap between gods and mortals, but also fosters harmony among the divine, cementing his legacy as a truly indispensable figure in mythology. As we bring our exploration to a close, it's clear that Hermes' role in mythology extends far beyond his title as the messenger god. From his clever thefts as a newborn to his pivotal roles in guiding souls, aiding heroes, and mediating divine conflicts, Hermes' versatility is unmatched. His myths paint a picture of a deity who is not only cunning and resourceful but also deeply compassionate and protective, whether helping mortals or serving the gods. Each of the 25 myths we've uncovered highlights a different facet of his character, showcasing his adaptability and enduring relevance in the ancient world. Hermes' legacy is a testament to his ability to bridge the realms of the divine and the mortal, making him a truly indispensable figure in Greek mythology. Now, we'd love to hear from you. Which of Hermes' myths resonated with you the most? Do you have a favorite story or aspect of his character? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're eager to dive deeper into the world of ancient mythology, be sure to explore more of our videos. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a myth. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the stories of Hermes, and we'll see you in the next video.